Stop. 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 Had enough? Kick out mucus and quiet the cough with Mucinex 12-Hour DM for long-lasting cough and chest congestion relief. Buy Mucinex 12-Hour DM at your local retailer. Use as directed.
This episode is brought to you by Global X. Since 2008, Global X ETFs has been committed to empowering investors with unexplored, intelligent solutions. Global X specializes in exchange-traded funds that offer exposure to the artificial intelligence ecosystem, including themes like data centers, robotics, semiconductors, and cloud computing. To learn more about Global X's entire suite of ETFs, from covered calls, fixed income, emerging markets, and more, visit globalxetfs.com.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Welcome to the Gundam Lorecast, where we take a deep dive into the Mobile Suit Gundam series, such as the multiple timelines, mobile suits, characters, and so much more. Welcome back, pilots, to another episode of the Gundam Lorecast. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and always with me is my good friend, Jesse.
How's it going?
Oh, it is going. I still need to watch, that new Gundam anime Unreal Engine 5 Netflix show. I know you just told me that you finished it.
Having binged it all in one day, highly recommend.
All right. Tell me this at least. Do they call it the White Devil?
At one point, it is called a White Devil.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, I was hoping to hear that. Because
also,
out of the entire original series, it was never called the White Devil. And
also, without spoilers, it is the first time that I can think of as the first official recorded use of the F-bomb in a Gundam series.
No, they dropped the F-bomb?
In like the first 4 minutes.
What? Oh, I definitely now need to watch it now. What? Okay, yeah, no, that would be the first recorded ever F-bomb in Gundam. Because, there's
quick.
Not to my knowledge, I don't think there was any other... I don't think we ever got an F-bomb. We've had a lot of other words, but not that word.
Yeah.
But
it kind of caught me off guard. I had to pause and go back. Like, hold on.
It's like, wait, did I just hear that? Put the captions on. Did they actually say that?
No, he did.
But today we are starting our season 2, going over different mobile suits. And what mobile suit would we start with season 2 with? With the original RX-78-2 Gundam. The mobile suit.
Yeah. When you think Gundam, this is the Gundam.
Yes, exactly. I mean, this is the mascot of everything.
This is it. Yeah.
So, the RX-78-2 Gundam is a titular mobile suit of the Mobile Suit Gundam television series. Part of the RX-78 Gundam series is primarily piloted by Amuro Ray, which, if you watch the original anime, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Now, getting a little more in depth with the technology of the Gundam. So the Gundam was incredibly advanced for its time, built from lightweight Luna titanium alloy. So this is like moon titanium. Its frame was both lighter than the Zeon's mass-produced mobile suits and much sturdier, able to shrug off a MS-06 Zaku 2's machine gun fire with little to no damage. Its offensive power was above and beyond that of the Zaku's, which, if you watch the first episode, it literally, the Vulcans and even the machine guns did absolutely nothing to the Gundam. Like, at all.
Which is like a recurring theme in all of the different suits, but...
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Its biggest...
Well, protagonist suits.
Yeah, it's true.
Protagonist suits.
You're the main protagonist.
Are more, sturdier and more advanced than any other...
Plot armor.
Oh, exactly. That's exactly what this is. So the Gundam would engage in most battles with its beam rifle, making it the first mobile suit to have firepower equivalent to a battleship's beam cannons. In addition, it made use of two beam sabers, blades of extremely hot plasma, which could cut through any metal with ease. These beam sabers could be extended into a spear-like beam javelin, which could be used to stab into an enemy from a longer distance, which we do see in the original anime too, Amuro literally uses the javelin to take down literal warships.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool.
So, the Gundam also used more conventional weaponry. It could launch rockets from its Hyper Bazooka, the Federation's answer to the bazookas used by Zeon's Zaku's. In addition, its head was outfitted with a pair of small Vulcan guns as a way to attacking light armor aircrafts and vehicles without wasting ammo or energy from its most powerful armaments. It was also made use of a very unconventional close-range weapon known as the Gundam Hammer, a large weapon similar to a flail, which could be swung at enemies to dealing a crushing damage.
It's
And
ridiculous looking, but I love it.
and crushing damage. Get it? Because it's a flail, and it's
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
puns. It's great.
I get it.
So the Gundam Hammer was eventually upgraded for use in space and outfitted with a number of ventners to the ball and renamed to the Hyper Hammer. Lastly, it wielded a shield which could offer its defense against enemy attacks that not even its lunar titanium body could withstand without damage. Gundam pilot Amuro Ray could make use to the shield as a decoy in many battles, taking advantage of its size to fool the enemy of thinking it was charging at them, then attacking the enemy through the shield.
So here's what I need to know is if the shield's essentially like what is this shield made of? If it can survive the things
Right.
that this already ridiculously strong titanium body can't withstand.
Yeah, I haven't. I no
There's
idea.
no answer
No,
for it. But
it's
it's like
multi-layered. Maybe I don't know.
it's Gundamantium.
Hey, I mean that is a thing in the Gundam universe. So,
Yeah, Gundarium or whatever.
so the terms of technology, the Gundam was equipped with a sophisticated learning computer, which would collect pilot and enemy data during skirmishes to allow the Gundam to operate more efficiently. The data from the computer was used by the Federation to improve the controls of the Gundam's mass-produced form, the RGM-79 GMs, which are
The
just
gems.
the gems. They're just mass-produced versions of the Gundam, but less powerful and much more easily to destroy.
Yeah, it's like a different metal or
Yeah,
something like that.
right. So, in addition to the upgraded by the Federation technician Maski Han, shortly before the Battle of Abaku, it improved its reaction times. The joints of the Gundam were given a magnet coating based on the experimental procedure performed on the RX-78-3 G3 Gundam, and later used on Amuro's intended successor unit, the RX-78 NT-1 Gundam NT-1, which is the successor to the Gundam.
Yeah.
Because the original Gundam does eventually get destroyed. So
They always do. The
yeah,
main
they always
Gundams
do.
always get damaged or destroyed in some way just so they can have a cooler version of it later in the
Oh,
series.
absolutely. Absolutely. So the Gundam makes use of the core block system implemented in the other 5 project units. V project units. The torso of the Gundam is mostly hollow, so that the FFX-7 core fighter can dock with it. They allow the pilot to jettison the legs and the torso of the Gundam should the machine be too heavily damaged, and gives the pilot a chance to escape from battle. Later, during Operation Odessa, the Gundam is given a support unit called the G Fighter. And the G Fighter is pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
So,
it's a good one.
oh yeah. The two G fighters were designed to take advantage of the Gundam's modular system and diversify the Gundam's role in active combat. These modes range from assault booster G armor to the close combat support tank G bull. Officially, it's called a prototype, but it's also said to be more of a custom-made machine that is finished with the high-quality materials and the best technology. So,
It's the fanciest.
yes.
That's what happens when you give it all the bells and whistles.
Oh, yeah. And this is like the original anime, so they like wait till you get to later animes where they get a little more sophisticated.
You get to things like Unicorn when it has literal bells and whistles.
Yes. Moving on to the armaments of the Gundam. So it does have a 60 millimeter Vulcan guns. So the pair of 60 millimeter 3-barrel Vulcan guns are mounted in the Gundam's head and are used for mid-range and close-range combat. They are used for intercepting incoming missile rockets, destroying mobile suit sensors, and attacking lightly armored vehicles. Furthermore, a concentrated barrage of close range could critically damage a Zaku 2.
And Vulcans are one of my favorite things. It's so ridiculous, but it's just great.
Now, question is, do you use head Vulcans when you're playing GB4?
I do.
I do too.
I have head Vulcans because the Crossbone has them.
Yeah, that's fair.
But the other big thing to me with doing oh no, my computer's gonna die. When it comes to those is it's just so ridiculous. It's like the mech equivalent of having oh yeah, can't I think of it? Heat vision.
Heat vision. Oh yeah, okay. I gotcha. So the next weapon is the beam saber. So the Gundam is armed with a pair of beam sabers with an output of 0.38 MW for melee combat. Don't ask me what the MW means. Microwaves, maybe? I don't know. Megawatts. And they're stored on the sides of the backpack are not when not in use. One beam saber is kept as a reserve weapon, or both can be wielded simultaneously. The beam saber emits high energy Minovsky particles from a E-cap within the handle and contains in a blade-shaped eye field. The resulting blade of a spearhead particle is able to cut through most any material not treated with anti-beam coating. The beam saber's E-caps is recharged using the mobile suit's reactor when the weapon is stored. So that's how it recharges, is once it's stored. So which, makes sense.
Which is why sometimes, especially with the RX-78, they carry more than one, so you can use one and then recharge it while using the other one.
Exactly, yeah. Next is the beam javelin. The beam javelin is an alternate form of the beam saber, in which the handle extends and the beam emitter produces a 3-pronged beam at the end. The long range of the weapon gives the Gundam an advantage in close quarter combat. The beam javelin can also be thrown like a spear. At first, the beam javelin could not be used because of a limiter that was placed on the beam sabers. Yeah. Next, we have and these are a lot of acronyms, BOA XBR M-79-07G beam rifle. A revolutionary weapon for its time, the beam rifle is the primary weapon for the Gundam. It is a miniaturized version of the Mega Particle Cannon with the output of 1.9 megawatts. Oh, so it is megawatts. You're right. The beam rifle employs the Federation's energy capacitor, or E-cap, technology that uses charged concentrations of Minovsky particles as ammunition. The resulting weapon has power equivalent to that of the battleship's main gun on the time of the One-Year War, allowing it to defeat a mobile suit with a single shot. The rifle can fire 12 to 15 shots when fully charged. It can also feature an offset movable sensor that interfaces the RX-78's fire control system, or FCS, to achieve a high degree of accuracy, as well as a foregrip for firing support. When not in use, the beam rifle is stored on the back of the Gundam's waist or behind the shield. Yeah. And let me tell you, that beam rifle is awesome. Not gonna lie,
Yeah, it's just such a cool concept.
it is absolutely. Next, we have the the Blash XHB-L-03/N-STD Hyper Bazooka. Oh gosh, say that 5 times fast. So the Hyper Bazooka is a portable, handheld anti-ship rocket launcher that functions like a uh, recoilless rifle, and the gas ejected from the rear of the weapon it is loaded with the 5 rounds in its magazine towards the rear end. The Hyper Bazooka is effective against large groups of mobile suits due to the ability to cause damage over a wide area, though it's primarily used to destroy less maneuverable targets such as battleships and buildings. When required, the Gundam can equip with 2 Hyper Bazookas for increased firepower, with one held in each hand, which, just makes it a tank.
Yeah, it's hilarious when they carry 2 of them.
Oh my god, when they did 2 in the anime, it was like, wait a minute, that's not how bazookas work.
It's like, probably don't try this at home.
Right. Next, we have the RXM-SH-008/S-01025 shield. So the Gundam shield is a simple defensive equipment that can be easily carried on its handled or mounted on the mobile suit's forearm. When not in use, the shield is also be stored on the backpack, weighing 10 tons. It is a simplification of the armor structure of the Gundam's body and designed for shock diffusion and absorption rather than robustness. It features a triple honeycomb structure with a high-density chromatic material based on the super hard steel alloy sandwiched between aramid fibers and the outermost layer made of Luna titanium alloy. The surface of the shield is filled with a resin made of a polymer material for improved elasticity. Used to block most of physical and beam attacks, the shield was effective in close quarter combat and could be thrown as a weapon. The shield also could be used to deflect heat away from the mobile suit during atmospheric re-entry. The Gundam carries a second shield on its right forearm and combined with the G armor. The shield was originally discarded with the Gundam was ejected, but was proposed by Amare. A special joint was implemented so it could be mounted over the top of the shield on the left arm.
That's kind of smarter because you figure every time you jump out of the G armor, you're losing a shield, and then you either got to go find it or
Right, or
it's just gone. You got to make a new one.
Right, which is a pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, not fun. Next we have is Super Napalm. So the Super Napalm is a 4-tubed rocket launcher that fires powerful napalm rounds. It was an optional armament that is mounted underneath the beam rifle's barrel and is used to incinerate large areas. It's napalm.
This one, so all I can think of when I hear the name Super Napalm is like when you're having an argument with your friends on the playground as a little kid, and then one of them's like, I use napalm. Well, I use Super Napalm.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's napalm. It sets things on fire, and the fire doesn't go out because
And that
it's
same naming
napalm.
convention is about to come up in just a second.
Oh, yeah. So we have the Gundam Hammer. The Gundam Hammer is a physical melee weapon that takes the form of a flail with a large spike ball attached to the handle by a chain. It is useful in situations where beam weapons cannot be used. The chain is long enough the weapon can be swung around the mobile suit to strike enemies at mid-range or thrown. The ball section of the weapon is extremely sturdy, so it can take a direct hit from a Zaku bazooka without any apparent damage. Yeah, there you go. It's a giant flail that makes big booms when it hits things.
Yep, which is great. And then here comes that naming convention again.
Yeah, Hyper Hammer. The Hyper Hammer is an enhanced version of the Gundam Hammer, with the ball featuring sharper spikes and multiple Ventnor thrusters. The thrusters are activated when the weapon is swung to increase the damage that the ball causes or change its direction before impact.
You just know they were sitting in the room like, how can we make this cooler? Put a jet engine on it.
Right. Let's put a jet engine on it. Yeah. Yeah, it was something. That's for sure. But at this point, let's take a quick mid break, and we will be back with more info on the RX-78 Gundam.
Wishing for a body wash made with natural ingredients? Dr. Squatch has got you covered. Manly scents that make you irresistible, a thick lather that leaves your skin moisturized all day. No matter what you're looking for in a body wash, rest assured, Dr. Squatch is your best bet. Pick up one today in store or at drsquatch.com. It's Dr. Squatch Body Wash for men who prefer natural.
All right. Welcome to the middle of the show where we're talking about everything with the podcast that has nothing to do with the lore of Gundam. Here we want to thank all of our listeners. Thank you so much for listening to the show. And if you want to support the show, there's a few options you can do. You can go to Apple or Spotify. On Apple, leave a 5-star review with some words, read out loud next time on the show, as well as a nice Spotify comment, which we don't have any this week, but that just means you haven't done it yet. Please go do that. Every review, every star on Spotify really helps the show grow and gives us more reach to everybody that wants to listen to Gundam. You can also find us on a few different Discord servers. The Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord server, the Ben and Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can find those links provided below, where you can find this show, as well as the other shows that I host, the Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends, the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Wizarding World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. So go check those out. That's a lot of great fun. It's awesome stuff. And you can find us live on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/BenofTemeria every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's the time because time's weird. And yeah, you can, be with us in live and chatting with us in our live chat and all that fun stuff. But that's all that news. But I have some awesome news for our Gundam Breaker 4 fans. The first DLC content, Additional Story and DLC Mission 1 Go Restart, and Diorama DLC 1 Colony Set, drops on Thursday, the 24th, when you listen to this episode.
Excellent.
So,
it's time.
Heck yes. Finally, we are getting more Gundam in GB4. Oh my gosh, and you're going to be extremely happy from what the one of the mobile suits are for the Go Restart.
Oh?
It's a version of Crossbones.
Ooh, we like more versions of Crossbones. We always
And
like
they're
versions.
adding a new Gundam Build Fighters mobile suit.
Ooh, nice.
The Ashoku Astray, if you know what that
Nice.
is. And it looks like they're adding another Hathaway. It looks like we already have the She, right? Yeah, we have the She
Yes.
Gundam. I think it might be the Penelope. And I think that's a new
Ooh,
version of the 00 Razor. Might be 7 Swords. No, we already have 7 Swords, don't we?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I'm going to have to see if there's a trailer for this later. But yes, there's going to be new DLC as soon as you listen to this episode on the 24th. New DLC for freaking GB4. So heck yes.
Fantastic.
So yes. Anyway, with that being said, let's get back into more RX-78 info. All right, we are back, and now we're getting to some special equipment and features that the RX-78 has. So, as we said previously, that it does have the core block system, which the prototype mobile suits produced by the Earth Federation Forces, Operation 5, or Operation V. I keep saying 5 because it's V, Roman numerals 5, for anybody who doesn't know. Are equipped with a central block, which houses the mobile suit's cockpit, controlled systems, and main power source. The core block can eject in case of emergency and then unfold into a small core fighter. It does have hard points, so an attachment point for weapons, shields, spare ammunition, or optional mission-specific equipment. Hard points can be also used to store carried weapons when a mobile suit needs its manipulators free of any other purposes. In the show, the Gundam can be seen equipped with a hardpoint on its back skirt, which can store either the beam rifle or hyper bazooka, and another on its backpack, which can be used to mount the shield. The shield itself also contains a hardpoint on its backside, which can be used to mount the beam rifle. So, hardpoints are literally like connection points for the mobile suit to better storage,
It's essentially
kind of a thing.
a sheath or a holster for whatever you're using.
Yeah. It has the learning computer, so the inferential, God, words. Inferential Navigation Control System, or ICN, more commonly known as the learning computer, is based on optical integrated circuits, gaining extremely high performance and immunity to Minovsky particle interference, is capable of learning from previous experiences and rewriting its own programming to deal with new situations, essentially meaning that each battle increases the Gundam's combat ability and ultimately enable it to operate the Gundam automatically. Due to its high cost and importance to the data it contains, is located in the core fighter to facilitate recovery in the event of the Gundam's destruction. It has a heat-proof film / heat-proof field, so a system installed on the RX-78-2 Gundam designed to assist in atmospheric re-entry. In the TV series, a heat-proof film is stored within the heat-proof film capsule located in the Gundam's crotch area, and yes, you heard me right, covers over the Gundam when deployed to counter the friction and heat generated during re-entry. A similar system is also equipped on the gun tank. In the movie compilation, it is changed into the heat-proof shield, which is formed over the Gundam when specialized cooling air is pumped out of the Gundam's crotch section again. The mobile suit's internal cooling system must be engaged to deal with the heat that penetrates the airfield. For this version, is said the base upon the experimental atmospheric re-entry system of the White Base and is not adapted for mass production.
So what this tells us is, if you're falling through the atmosphere, use your crotch to prevent yourself from burning up.
I guess. If you come in, if you don't burn alive, that is. Yeah. We have magnet coating, so a special membrane treatment applied to the mobile suit joints to improve their response speed. The mobile suit developed by the Earth Federation Forces use special actuators called field motors, which have their efficiency increased by the magnet coating process. The treatment also reduces the friction resistance in the mobile suit's joints, first tested on the RX-78-3 G3 Gundam. This process is then applied to the RX-78-2 used by Amare, reducing the time required for changes of direction by roughly 27%, which is a lot, not gonna lie.
Yes.
That's pretty it's important. Anyway, it also has autopilot. So once significant data is accumulated, it's possible for the Gundam to automatically drive itself, which is freaking insane, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And now
Absolutely.
getting into a little bit of the history of the RX-78. So the RX-78-2 was the second of 3 Gundam prototypes units constructed on Side 7 and UC-0079 as part of the Earth Federation's V project, built to complement the long-range unit, the RX-75 gun tank, the mid-range support unit, the RX-77 gun cannon, The Gundam was designed to be a highly mobile, close-range machine with advanced weaponry beyond that of the Principality of Zeon's machines. A raid of Zeon forces on Side 7 in September of UC 009 or 0079 resulted in heavy damage to the other two RX-78 units. However, thanks to the unexpected interference of V Project Head, Tim Ray's son, Amuro Ray, inside the RX-78-2, the Zeon intruders were repelled. Though they had caused significant damage to the colony, the Gundam, the gun tank, and the gun cannon were spared. So they had 3 of these Gundams. Only the Dash 2 was saved, as we see in the show.
Right.
Thing is, you don't see the other 2, really.
That's the thing, is that whenever they drop a new thing in the UC, there's a 50-50 shot they're going to throw something else out in the 1-year war with another prototype Gundam that we didn't know about.
Yeah. Requiem for Vengeance.
War in the Pocket does the same thing.
Or, I mean,
it happens.
watch the 8th MS team, the ground type, that we never saw the ground. Obviously, MS team was, made in the 90s, not in the not in 1979.
Right.
And same goes for War in the Pocket, which was later in the timeline, like our timeline. Requiem for Vengeance just came out like a week ago.
Right.
And it's set
the
in the
beginning
1-year
of
war.
Thunderbolt is in the 1-year war still.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, things happen. It is what it is. So the 3 machines acted as the defense force of the Pegasus-class mobile suit carrier White Base and protected the ship in its push to Earth and travels over North America and Asia, finding support of General Revel's Odessa campaign. The Gundam later participated in the defense of the Federation's headquarters in Jaburo and their assault on the Zeon asteroid base Solomon and Abaku. Its reputation was one of dread, the Zeon Armed Forces nicknaming the unit its pilot White Devil. Fun fact, you don't ever hear the term White Devil in the anime.
Nope. I think Requiem for Vengeance is the only time.
Unicorn.
Yes.
It's literally the first time we hear it say called the White Devil is in Unicorn. That to my knowledge, it could be in one of the movies possibly, and I haven't seen yet. But as far as I'm aware, the first time I heard it was in Unicorn. I was like, when did they ever call it the White Devil? And I looked it up, and I was like, they never did in the anime. Huh.
Well, in Japan.
Yeah, right. So during the Battle of Solomon, the Gundam engaged and defeated Dozo Zabi's fearsome MA-08 Big Zom mobile armor. In the Battle of Abaku, the Gundam fought the unfinished Zeon prototype, the MSN-02 Zenog, piloted by Char and Anzabal. Both took heavy blows from each other, and the Gundam losing its head and left arm. The 2 machines ultimately met each other within the corridors of the Zeon stronghold when their pilots had them both fire one last shot after being set on autopilot, destroying what was left of Zenog and decimating the Gundam's right arm and leg, leaving it inoperable.
Whenever Amuro and Char fight, things explode and break.
A lot. Like a lot.
Literally every time.
Every single time. Amuro later returned for the Gundam's wreckage and used the FFX-7 core fighter to escape the fortress, leaving the Gundam's parts behind. Despite the loss of Amuro's prototype Gundam unit, the series itself has a long time of successors, such as the RX-178 Gundam Mark II, the MSZ-006 Zeta Gundam, the MSZ-010 Double Zeta Gundam, and Amuro's personal unit, the RX-93 New Gundam. And new is like a weird, like the V emblem. It's new in U Gundam. During the third Neo Zeon War, Menager Lynx and Full Frontal were able to see across space and time using the NZ-999 Neo-Zeog Psycho Shard, One of the events they witnessed was the Gundam facing off the Big Zom at Solomon. Yeah. The Unicorn gets interesting. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. And then we do have some variants of the RX-78. We have the RX-78-2 Gundam Real Type, the RX-78-3 G3 Gundam, the RX-78/CA Casfall's Gundam, the RX-78-Z1 Zeon's Gundam, the RX-78T Gundam Titans version, the RX-78-2 Gundam General Revel Custom, the RX-78-2 Gundam plus B parts, the RX-78 Op Gundam G Dash, and the PF-78-1 Perfect Gundam. Yeah, it's a lot. So,
Yeah.
and other mobile suits have even more. So, I'm looking at you,
Which-
00.
To be fair, you could have listed every Gundam in every series under this one if you wanted to.
Oh, absolutely. You could.
Because without this one, none of those exist.
Oh, true. Absolutely true. So, and then last but not least, we do have some notes and trivia. So, according to Gundam MS Historical Volume 1, the RX plan's acronyms stand for Robot and X, as is experimental, and also an extension of the controversial weapons development plan led by the munitions industry. The Super Napalm is the Gundam's most obscure weapon, seen only in the second episode of the original series. It is used to destroy the remaining mobile suits in mobile suit parts inside 7. The weapon did not appear in any other episodes and was not mentioned in most source books. However, it was since appeared and as a weapon in the PlayStation game SD Gundam G Generation F, used by the RX-78-1 prototype Gundam. The Game Boy Advance game Super Robot Wars A, the PlayStation 3 game Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme Verse, and Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation, where it is attached to the beam rifle, a gimmick first introduced in the Master Grade Gundam version 2.0. Yeah, and then also, wow, the Super Napalm appears to be a missile launcher, and the Super Robots Wars, a portable the Gundam uses as a throw-in it to the opponent and detonate it with the beam rifle shot. Yeah, Super Robot Wars, I never got to, haven't played Super Robot Wars before. It's a tactics-based game, so it's, if you ever play Gundam SD Generations or anything like that, it's very similar to that. But Super Robot Wars is just a bunch of different mechas from Japan over a bunch of different series. Obviously, Mobile Suit Gundam is a part of it. But, SD Gundam's fun. If you ever want to play something in...
They're entertaining games.
Yeah,
They're
they are
goofy, but
entertaining.
they're entertaining.
If you like tactic-based games like Fire Emblem, you would like it. And they are on Switch. So...
They're great.
In the novelization of Mobile Suit Gundam, the RX-78-2 isn't destroyed during the Battle of Abaco, but during the ambush in Texas colony at the end of the first book. Amuro uses the RX-78-3 unit until his death at the end of the novels. And yes, Amuro originally dies in the novelization. He does not live on, which is really weird, and I don't know how I like that. I don't really like it, even though Amuro is a very interesting character to begin with. I did not like him at first because, like, if you look at like anime characters nowadays and you think, oh, a crybaby character, oh, he was the first. Yeah. He was the first. Though granted, he was 16 and going to war and killing people, so there is that.
Don't worry, there's still child pilots in the new series. Can't get away from that.
You mean in every series?
Exactly. Can't get away from that. It's always happening.
Every series.
Don't worry.
So, except for G Gundam, they don't really have kid pilots in G Gundam.
00, they're not really kids either. But
no, 00, they're adults. Because I think Setsuna is 17 or 18.
Yeah. So it's like...
But he has a mind of a killer anyway, so...
He's like the young one, and he's 17 or 18, so it's
Yeah.
like not as much.
Dragon Gundam. Six Yami in chat says Dragon Gundam teen maybe. Is it Shao Shi? I can't remember how old he is. I would say he's possibly a teen, late teen, maybe. I can't
Yeah.
remember his age on the top of my head.
I don't remember exactly.
If anything,
but
he would be the only one, but he was a martial artist to begin with. And the thing with G Gundam, on the Age series, perhaps. Oh yeah, Age. Yes, Age is. If you go to Gundam Age, they're legitimate children. They're like 11 and 12.
yeah. They
that one's
little
bad.
kids.
If you're talking about Age, or like Age as a whole for characters, Gundam Age is probably the worst. It's really bad, and that's why I didn't do so well. Anyway, moving on. The RX-78-2 appears in one scene of Mobile Fighter G Gundam clinging to a rocket.
I don't know if you've looked at this,
I have not.
but it is absolutely ridiculous, and you can also see in the background that Crossbone Gundam is on
Oh
another
my
rocket
god, that is
next
hysterical.
behind it. Crossbone
Oh my god,
is riding
Crossbone
it,
is right next to it, yeah.
and then that silhouette in the background where the dude is like lassoing
Yeah.
the rocket.
That is hysterical. Oh my god.
It is an absolutely ridiculous.
I don't remember this. I think this was like towards the beginning of the G Gundam. Was when they were sending all, or was this when I think this is when the Dark Gundam was in space.
I think
and they were sending all the Gundams into space to help the Shuffle Alliance and all that. That's what it was. That's what it was. Yep. So in SD Gundam G Generation series, the RX-78-2 Gundam design is loosely based on the Kataki Hamaji version. It's just a different design based on the model sets. The ZGMF-X56S Impulse Gundam from Mobile Suit Gundam C Destiny has several similarities to the RX-78-2 Gundam, such as having its legs as one section, upper body as another, and its YFX-M5XS core Splendor functionality similar to the FFX7 core fighter, and has a similar red and gold cross design on its shield. Katoki, yeah, it's the designer's name. I read thank you the news for the upcoming GB4 DLC. Is it tomorrow? Gundam Info said the 24th. Today's the 22nd, right? Yeah, 22nd. Yes. The GN 000O Gundam and Mobile Suit Gundam 00 resembles the RX-78-2 Gundam and is even repainted in a similar color scheme in its final battle. Another in-joke is the O Gundam's pilot and antagonist Ribbons Almark shares the same voice actor with Amuro Ray, which I never realized, and I watched all of O Gundam. Ironically, Amuro's English voice actor, Brad Swall, is the same English actor for Gundam's 00's main protagonist and Ribbon's main rival, Setsuna F.
So,
wait, he's three characters?
In the Japanese version, Amuro and the villain are the same the villain of 00 are the same person.
Okay.
And in the English version,
he's Amuro
and Amuro
Setsuna
are the same person.
Oh my god. Well, no, it's in the English the same English voice actor for 00's main protagonist and Ribbon's main villain. Or main rival.
Main rival, Setsuna.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Setsuna and Amuro's English are the same.
Oh my god. It's
fantastic.
Oh, and you're
ridiculous.
You're on the 23rd. Okay, that's why it's for tomorrow for you. You're lucky. You get it before we do. So the RX-78-2 Gundam, the GN000O Gundam Age 1 Gundam Age 1 Normal, and the YG-111 Gundam G Self share the same head type, head height, 18 meters. That's just a little fun fact. The RX-78-2 appears in the climactic battle of the 2018 film Ready Player One, as mentioned in the novel of the same name. In the film, the character Dido uses an item to turn into the RX-78-2 Gundam to face off against Mechagodzilla. In the novel, it was piloted by the character Arc. Oh,
That
that'd have been cool. But I
it
don't know.
is.
To me, Dido is probably the one. I'd rather have Dido in my opinion.
I agree. It is probably the best scene in that movie.
Oh my god! When I first watched
Like,
it, because I never read the novel, and when I went to
Mhm.
go see Ready Player One, and then you get to the big battle, and like Dido's like puts on the headgear and it's like and it just says Gundam in
And
Japanese,
he's
and I was
like,
like,
form of Gundam.
no,
Boom.
and turns into the RX-78. It's like, oh my god, why don't we have a live action Gundam series? Why?
I
That
have
would be
not heard any
amazing.
new news on that series, by the way.
I haven't either. I don't know if they're even doing
I
anything
looked
with it
earlier
more.
today, and there's nothing
For
new.
all we know, it could have been the Netflix series that just came out.
It's not. That I know.
Oh, well, we'll see.
It's supposed to be a shot-for-shot remake of the Mobile Suit Gundam 1 movie.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't know how they would do that. All right,
I have
that's
not a
interesting.
clue, but it's the same people that made Pacific Rim, so I have faith in that.
Oh, at least it can make mechs.
Exactly. That's the
Wait,
only
didn't
part I have
Legendary
faith
Pictures?
in.
Wait, didn't Legendary Pictures do? Yeah, Legendary did Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Legendary
part of
did.
this.
Ready Player One was done by Legendary,
Yeah. I have
as well
all the
as the
faith in the world.
Godzilla films.
I have all the faith in the world in their ability to make a mech.
Oh,
Now,
absolutely.
to do the shot-for-shot remake of the movie,
That's a different story.
I got faith in what the mech's gonna look like. I don't know about the rest of it yet.
Right. So the Master Grade series 10th anniversary model version of the Master Grade RX-78-2 indirectly resembles the Salem mask-colored version of the unit that appears in the Mobile Suit Gundam arcade game. The RX-78-2 has the highest number of variations in the game SD Gundam Capsule Corps Fighter Online. The variations include the normal version, the twin bazooka version, the hyper hammer version, the beam javelin version, the magnet coating / last shooting version, the special edition gold version, the Char custom, and with B parts. And B parts are just an optional part system that the Gundam has. The Super Robot Wars A, despite the story taking place after the 1 Year War, the RX-78-2 Gundam is Amuro's main machine from the start of the game, even though it was destroyed at the Battle of Abaku, and is never explained how Amuro managed to get it back. He got back the RX-78-2 Gundam. The RX-78-2 appears in the Extreme Versus series, piloted by Amuro, either by itself or with the assistance of the G-Bull, G-Armor, and G-Fighter, both at a cost of 2,000. And it's a fighting game. The Extreme series is a legit fighting game.
Yeah.
So... that is very interesting. Huh. The Gundam by itself is a standard beam rifle with Amuro can charge for more powerful shot. The Gundam also retains its Hyper Bazooka and can throw its beam javelin, which Amuro can charge for more damage. Aside from these, Amuro has a shield counter against melee attacks, can pull out the slower but longer range Gundam hammer, and has the hop used against the Black Tri-Stars. For its support units, Amuro can choose to summon either the Core Fighter, which can fire its machine guns and crash at an opponent. Oh, don't do that. Did you just hear that? The
No, I
Core
did not.
Fighter will fire its machine guns and crash at an opponent.
Oh yeah, yeah. Straight
That is
kamikaze core fighter.
It's literally in the anime. It's like you referencing the character's death. That's terrible.
Yeah.
The gun tank fires 3 volleys of napalm and Kai's gun cannon, which will grab hold of an opponent for Amuro. For its burst attack, the Gundam launches the opponent into the air with the beam saber before shooting them down with the beam rifle. And the G-Parts Gundam will still retain the beam rifle and hyper bazooka, but will rely on its various forms. For its burst attack, Amuro will ride Sayla's G-Fighter to charge an opponent, stunning them with the Gundam's shield before driving them into the ground with the beam saber. And yeah, that's what we got. That is all we have on the RX-78-2 Gundam.
The Gundam.
The Gundam. So, for everybody listening, go and, for one, go get GB4 because DLC's coming, which I am so stoked for.
Yes.
Finally, we're getting a continuation of the story that I've been patiently waiting on for a good while since I beat the game when it came out.
Yeah.
When did the game come out? I can't remember.
It's been
It's been a couple months.
Yeah.
3 or 4 months. I can't remember already.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. But go get the game. If you haven't gotten the game, get the DLC because DLC's coming. Beat the story because the story's great. Not going to lie. They had the best boss fight at the end. And more mobile suits because mobile suits. And then also go watch Requiem for Vengeance on Netflix.
Yes.
Because Gundam stuff. And I've seen clips. I still need to watch it myself. I'll probably binge it tonight. But it looks so good. It's so good.
It was a great watch. I might watch it again. I will watch it again, but I might.
I will watch it again. Right.
I might watch it again soon.
Right. We'll see. But with that being said, I have nothing else to add. Jesse, do you have anything else to add for the Gundam?
No, that's pretty much
besides
it.
Besides it's the GOAT.
It's the Gundam. I do have two things.
Oh.
Two things.
What?
Okay. First thing. That picture that we were all referencing earlier and making fun of the Gundams on the rockets. If you're curious about that, check it out in the Discord channel. I posted it there for everybody to see.
Okay.
And second, if you guys have specific Gundams that you want us to talk about, or specific mobile suits in general, let us know. And maybe yours can jump up towards the top of the list if you're interactive.
Right.
That's all I
got. Before we end the show, we do have someone in our Twitch chat. Know the details on 2 other units with the RX-78. Are you talking about the 2 other Gundam units that were destroyed? Or were you talking about the Gundam cannon and the gun tank? Okay, you're talking about the 2 other units that were with the RX-78. Yeah, we honestly, it was just the start of the show, and even if you go and read the manga, they were just destroyed, and there was barely any info. There was just, we know there was 3 units of the same Gundam that we see in the anime that we all know and love. It's just, they were destroyed somehow. So, that's one plot thing I don't get, is how can the RX-78 Gundam withstand freaking machine gun fire and take no damage, yet the other 2 machines can get destroyed from just random explosives?
Right. And so there are, if you go check out the pictures of Mobile Suit Variation, you can catch some of...
Six Yami says, it's anime.
Yeah, in Mobile Suit Variation, they have, designs of what they could have been, or should have been, the RX-78-1 is in there.
Mm-hmm.
But we still don't know anything about it, aside from the fact that it
was built
white, black, and red, and it's a Gundam.
So yeah, I know the other ones had different color combinations than what we have from the original, what we know of. But that's it. And it's anime plot armor. I mean, there we go. We're inactive, totally vulnerable. That's a possibility.
That's a possibility, and it's not like they're invincible.
No. Oh God, no. Absolutely not. I mean, we see that at the end of the series where, the RX-78's completely dead. But then again, by that time of the series, Zeon already developed mobile suits with beam weaponry.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's what we got. What was your second thing?
No, that was both.
Oh, you did both?
Pictures in the thing,
Uh-huh.
and let us know if you have specific mobile suits that you
other
want us to talk
specific
about.
posts? Okay. And Sikjami, thank you for listening. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And we are happy
Thanks
to bring
for
this
popping in the
podcast to
chat.
you. But with that being said, thank you again for listening to the Gundam Lorecast, and pilots, stay safe out there. Thank you for listening to the Gundam Lorecast. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share how you got into the Gundam series, and you can even find us on Twitter at Gundam Lorecast, and even email us at gundamlorecast@outlook.com.